Ferrari is in major trouble as it is forced to redesign its 2020 Challenger. Welcome along everyone to another episode of Formula News, and first up on today's episode, Ferrari forced to redesign their car. Ferrari has been forced to make a major redesign of their car as a result of flaws discovered since it ran in preseason testing in February. The result is the car will run in the preseason specification at this weekend's delayed season opening race in Austria. Ferrari, who failed to match Mercedes' impressive pace in preseason testing, were among the first to shut down production, with the area around their Maranello base among the first to suffer badly at the hands of the coronavirus. However, once the situation improved, Ferrari worked hard to find a way forward, and while the car will be the same in Austria, Binotto says lessons have been learned and can be applied. The upgrade is due to make its debut at the Hungarian Grand Prix on 17 to 19 July. Binotto said the team has been forced to revise their approach to the car's aerodynamics following their investigation into its performance shortfall. The outcome is that Ferrari is unlikely to be in the fight for victory at the first two races at the Red Bull Ring this weekend and next. Not only were they already off the pace of Mercedes and Red Bull, but both their rivals have upgrades on their cars which will make them faster. Mercedes have delivered a significant aerodynamic upgrade to their car as Lewis Hamilton embarks on his bid to win a record-equaling 7th world title, and Red Bull have an improved Honda engine to add to their own aerodynamic progress. Next up, Red Bull to have major updates. Red Bull will deploy multiple batches of car upgrades and have the use of an updated Honda engine specification for the 2020 Formula 1 season opening Austrian Grand Prix. The F1 season will begin at the Red Bull Ring on Sunday, more than 3 months after it was scheduled to start in Australia because of the coronavirus pandemic, and although most of that time has been spent with teams unable to conduct any development work, they have been able to do so over the past few weeks. Red Bull, which is hoping to launch a championship challenge for the first time in the V6 turbo hybrid era, has undertaken a crazy amount of work to ensure it can begin the season with as many upgrades to its RB16 as possible. The RB16 already ran at Silverstone earlier this month ahead of the Austrian Grand Prix, sporting a series of revised vanes on the floor in what was a markedly more complex specification compared to what it ran in testing. Improvements to the RB16 will be complemented by an updated Honda engine, which the Japanese manufacturer would have originally introduced as its second specification of the season. This is significant because in a bid to cut costs, F1 has agreed to eliminate in-season engine development with the exception of changes for reliability purposes. So whatever the engine manufacturers bring to Austria will be the spec they must stick to for the season. Honda was aided in that process by not having to close its factory in Japan at the same time as other manufacturers because the country adheres to different rules about closing periods, so it would serve its shutdown later on. On Red Bull's side, the team was boosted by work already starting on the upgrades that would have been introduced in the early weeks of the season. Next up, McLaren balancing new parts with upgrades. There was good news for McLaren earlier this week when it was revealed that they had secured £150 million in refinancing from the National Bank of Bahrain, and while team principal Andreas Seidel was very happy, he admitted the British team was taking a cautious approach to spending that cash on restarting big projects. Soon after his arrival at the team, Seidel was instrumental in getting the green light for a new wind tunnel, one of a series of infrastructure projects put in place to help the team return to the front of the pack. However, the coronavirus pandemic hit businesses hard, with McLaren putting some employees on furlough, confirming they would have to lay staff off and assessing financing options. The team also stopped work on big capital projects like the wind tunnel. Despite the financial strain on the team, Seidel said McLaren will still bring updates to Austria and races thereafter, while also balancing the need to plan for next year when the car needs to be modified to accommodate a switch from Renault to Mercedes power. And that's been today's video. If you don't want to miss out on any future Formula 1 news, then please hit that like and subscribe button and check out these 2 videos. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you have an awesome day, and until next time, goodbye.